Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, I cannot control this. Hocus pocus, magic potion got me focused. Overdose on dose.
Alright, I'm back with Teejy the Prophet.
Teejy the Prophet.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good, good, good. We gotta edit that.
So, yeah, man, you've released quite a lot of content over the past 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I think the first question I just need to ask is, how do you maintain being so prolific coming every single year?
I mean, honestly, my process, like my creative process, is not really long.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm a person, I don't write, so when I hear a beat that I feel, it's like I start seeing words and I just go in. You feel me? And we got everything that we need right at home base, so it's like cooking up is not hard to do.
What for Teejy makes a really good beat? What makes it
that honestly right now we're in the midst of trying to figure that out, like trying to figure out the science behind music and frequencies and stuff, and really figuring out like what is it that makes me tick, you know what I mean, what is it out of the beats that really hits something in me, and then gets me flowing. Because it would be great to, of course, you know, produce everything, even the beats in the house.
Do you have like for example, a new project? Are you planning on making a new project, for example?
I got like 3 new projects on, just sitting waiting, you know what I mean?
Right.
Ready to go, and constantly making more music too.
So, like juxtaposed to the projects that you already came out with like Gold Road and Good Weed,
Good Weed and some real drugs.
How different, I guess, in respect to the aesthetics?
I would say the newer projects that I'm working on are me getting back to as close to Teejy the Prophet as possible, you feel me? So it's like...
Oh, the self-released first one?
Yeah. And so you're going to hear a lot of melodies, you know what I mean? A lot of me singing, you know, as opposed to just me going in crazy. But you're also going to hear a nice mix of it, too, at the same time. And then just getting back to that, when I first came out with that project, Teejy the Prophet, it was like I was really ready to put out some conscious hip-hop music, you know what I mean? And of course, when you're coming from that conscious standpoint, you're saying a lot of stuff. Not everybody wants to hear that all the time, so they want to see, hey, can you just give us some shit to rock to? You know what I mean? So then I did that.
Yeah.
Obviously, Good Weed and some real drugs. I was like, all right, let me go ahead and just have some fun, you know? And then with Gold Roads, it was, okay, let me get back to a little bit more of spitting out real meaningful lyrics. And then Detour was, okay, let me go ahead and just, pretty much was like the outtakes of Gold Roads, all the hype stuff that I was like, nah, it's not chill enough.
Speaking of that project, actually, Condolence, actually, it seems to be your most popular song.
I think that's only because that's the only one that I really put out a video to from that project. I think if I put out visuals to a lot of my other songs, that probably honestly would go by the wayside.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, because like I saw it on SoundCloud, it's like 10,000 compared to like.
That one got the love, but I think it's because the visual we got with Banger Jackson. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but awesome with the videos. Bass Arcade, that's their whole clique. They're all great with the visuals and stuff. Like the shots that we got, we climbed up like we went in some abandoned building. There was freaking like crackheads and all types of stuff all in there, and
for real, they were like.
Oh yeah, they were.
That's crazy.
They were in there. Once it got dark, it was time to, you know, they boot up or get out. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Yeah, it was real. It was dope though. The visual was everything. I wish we would have got some more of those drone shots, but like I think that stuff made it. You know?
Yeah, the video looked amazing.
Appreciate it.
Actually, one thing that always sparked me was like I said, the projects and stuff. It seems like over the past 4 or 5 years, individuals and labels have allocated more of their resources towards making one really good song, a hook, like a single, than a complete body of work. Why is it so important for Teejy to make these pieces?
I want everything to be just, you know, a work of art for real. I want everything to be able to stand out on its own if need be when, you know, when the time comes. But like I don't know. It's just, like I said, the process for me doesn't take long, so it's like I just keep going with it. And I got ADD, so once I get in that mode, we're going to go ahead and make some music.
What's the song process like? Is it like you come into the studio already knowing you have your set plan, time, and idea, or it's just magic whenever, you know, just spontaneous?
It depends. I mean, timing-wise, it's like spontaneous, but It honestly just depends. It depends if I get on YouTube and I start looking up beats and I find something, or it usually seems like when you find one hot beat on YouTube, a bunch of them play.
Yeah.
And then so it'll just start rolling. We might just be in that
cycle.
mode, and then it's like, okay, time went by and we got this project that now we need to figure out how to promote and how to get out there.
Wow.
That's about it, for real, for real. It's a lot of times, honestly, making songs, it's like I'll hear a beat and like just literally, I think back to one time with my cousin, like beat came on and it was just like crazy and he wanted it for himself, and I was just like, cuz I gotta see that joint.
Right.
And like 5 minutes later we're sitting back, it's like smoking mic, and I'm like, what did I just say? You know what I mean? And we go back and listen to it, we're all in there cracking up like, yo, that's it. Like that's one of the song Condolence, that's how that thing was made. Urkel, songs like that, the hype ones where it says freestyle behind it, it's just like, that's it. You know what I mean?
Just having fun in the booth.
Having fun in the booth. Some stuff, I told you, like some stuff I'll just have in my head. I'll just be sitting at work cutting hair or something, and something will pop in my head. Or I'll hear a beat and I'll start spitting, and then it's just like, I'll just save it for the right time. I'll hear the right beat, it goes to it, boom.
What? How do you know when a song or a project is done? Like, how do you not overcook?
That's a great question.
The song, yeah.
I still don't know that yet.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's never done. You know what I mean? Like, I still want to go back to Teejy the Prophet, the first project, and redo the whole thing. But it's like,
what would you do different on it? Because it's compared to the new way you rapped over the past like 3 years. It's like you've actually, like it's become more. I don't know, how do I say? Just so focused on like rhyming.
Yeah. I would you know, like again, like that first tape, I was trying to be very like wordy. I was trying to be very, very like conscious with it and actually say something rather than sound like something. So now I've got to the point where it's like almost nowadays with music, you know, like how you said, labels, they put their time into one single, one song. It's like now you have to just be ready to go on a track and say anything as long as it stays within this certain couple cadences and it goes on a fire beat. You know, the beat saying the beat saying the most. And then but projects like that, it's like, I was just focused on making sure that every bar meant something, you know, or led into the next bar, or triple entendre type deals. Whereas now you might hear me just go and I'm just rattling off, you know what I mean? But these newer projects to come, I'm getting back to more of, okay, everything has to mean something. There has to be a purpose behind it all.
Right. And you can already prove that you can do others, you know.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I really felt like I had to prove, I felt like I had to prove to, not to myself, but prove to people that like, oh yeah, I can rap this mainstream style. I can do that, you know, but I really do like doing my own thing and being creative with it. You know? Rather than just stealing the hottest flow that's out right now and making a song to match it. You know what I mean?
How did you even get into music?
I was 16. Funny story. I was Jehovah's Witness up until I was about 13, 12, 13. So, you know, the whole rap music, that wasn't it. Every once in a while, of course, my dad, you know, me and him ride out and he'd have Tupac or Biggie or something playing, you know, oh, don't tell your mom. But, like, so I always liked that style of music when I got to hear it. Then, shoot, I forget when, it was one of Eminem's CDs with the curtain on the red curtain on the front. I can't remember exactly when that is.
The Eminem Show.
The Eminem Show.
Yeah.
And is it the Eminem Show with toy soldiers and all that stuff on there?
Oh, that's Encore.
Encore, is it?
Yeah, it's Encore.
Okay. And and then nah, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't. Toy soldiers, all those greats, you know.
Yeah.
And then 50 Cent. The Massacre came out not too long after that, and I got those 2 CDs, and I swear to you, I bumped them every single night, like when I slept. And then when I was 13,
50 Cent, the Get Rich Die Trying, that one?
That one and the Massacre album, for real. And then when I went down, I was like 13, I went down to North Carolina, and one of my cousins down there that I looked up to a lot had this poster of Lil Wayne on the wall. Gave me burnt me a CD, I think it was Drop 3. And it was a rap, you know what I mean? It was a rap. Then by the time we got our car, 16, that's when I really got into rapping. couple of my homies from around my town, my boy Mills, he was doing this thing spitting, and he was a writer. He used to write heavy, you know what I mean? Got bars for days, and I just couldn't get with the writing thing like that. I tried, but I really liked the freestyle, you know what I mean? And so we would just get in there. He had a mic, little USB mic, and we'd get in there and just rattle off stuff. And, you know, made a couple songs. People were like, hey, yo, you actually kind of nice. You should keep doing that. All right, bet. You know what I mean? By the time I was like 18, I went away to boot camp and whatnot. And one of my best friend, Jeezy Tattoos, he got a tattoo shop out here in Delaware City. He's about to move it to Kirkwood Highway. One of the best tattoo artists around. He told me, like, yo, write a song, you know what I mean? Like, you can do that stuff freestyle, and then you can definitely write. So I wrote a song when I was in there. It was cool. I liked it, you know what I mean? Then I understood why you write, so you can actually sit there and revise and stuff like that. And then from there, it just was, hey, that's just what I did. You know what I mean? That's just what I did. I was a huge Wayne fan. That's where the Teejy comes from.
Really?
Weezy, Teejy. Yeah, I was a huge Wayne fan. So, like, I literally memorized, like, all Wayne lyrics. And so we would be at parties at some of people's house, and we wouldn't have music or something like that. And they'd be like, hey, rap this Wayne song. Rap this Wayne song. So I'd be sitting there. I was that dude, that kid at the party spitting. You know what I mean? And then eventually it just turned into let me spit my own shit.
And the prophet part. Obviously an entendre with prophet, like a messenger. Of course. What do you want to say? Obviously, saying it kind of defeats the point of the music. But what are you trying to, express in your music to the people?
Okay. Well, I mean, obviously, yeah, prophet, the entendre, and of course, most people don't spell it like money as well, PROFIT. But it still does have that meaning behind it as far as bringing a message forth to the people.
Honestly, when I heard your name, and I was like, the prophet, it's like, okay, who is this guy? And then, like, I listened to the projects, and
then you can hear it.
Yeah, it's a mix between both of them.
It's a mix between the words, like, for real, because one thing I understand is that it takes money to make it, you know what I mean? So I'll never abandon that. Like, you got to have some type of love for money, you know, even though it's the root of all evil. You got to have some type of love for it, and at least you gotta have some type of relationship with it to make it things happen.
You know, that's funny about, it's funny, you have a song, you have a song, I think it's called Movies, actually. Yeah. Where you're like, what did you say? You can't have it all, right? You're changing your life.
But you can't have it all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, wanted to ask you about what inspired those lines. Like,
that's another freestyle I did, you know what I mean? So it's like, honestly, when I rap, I kind of feel like I just go into like almost like a trance, like, you feel me? So I feel like I'm in like a different world, like, and all inside of my mind and like subconscious. So then I get to come out from the songs and sit there and go back and listen, like, okay, damn. And then that's when I start understanding, okay, what did I mean by that? What did I mean by that? What did I mean by that? Because I know myself, I know how I think. But with that one, it's like, yeah, you can't have it all. What type of life would you give just to have this life? You could have everything you ever want, everything you ever need, everything you ever saw, or everything you'll ever see. It's just like, that's what it is. You could imagine right now if you could have everything that you saw in front of you in this room, you could have it all right here. Or you could have everything that you could get from what you can create in this room. But you can't have them both. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's just that type of deal. I believe in a lot of duality, honestly, and that's the new project that probably the next project I'm gonna release is probably gonna be Teejy the Prophet 2, Polarity. Polarity having the same meaning as duality, you know what I mean? Everything. If you listen to my music, a lot of times you'll hear like the parables between light and dark, good and evil. That's pretty much what, like, that's the main standpoint of my music, is talking about that. Like, some people, religious people, hear it and say, "Oh yeah, you're talking the gospel," you know what I mean? But I cuss, so it's not gospel to me. But yeah, it is just.
It's not Christian rap.
It's not Christian rap, but a Christian could hear it and say, "Okay, I see. He knows a little bit about scriptures and whatnot." But like,
how did you, if it's not too much of that, how did you reconcile the differences between your artistic interests and your studies with Jehovah Witness? Because they have to go to Kingdom Halls, they have to preach.
Nah, by the time I was 13, I was done with it.
You're done with it?
Yeah, I was done with it. I told my parents I'm not going back there. I'm good on that. So it's like, I definitely believe in God, you know what I mean? And I definitely believe everybody should have their connection with God, you know, but to each his own, you know?
Yeah.
But you can hear it in my music. I definitely still I definitely still call on God a lot and have a strong, I guess you could say, moral standpoint of life and how it's supposed to be lived, things you're supposed to do. But I also push the bounds, I would say. You know what I mean? So, like I said in one song, like, I've seen the light that shines on the dark side of the moon. You know what I mean? Like, so I know not everything's all glitz and glamour. You know what I mean?
And that's what I really like about. I didn't mean to interject.
No, thank you.
Yeah, that's what I really like about your music is that it doesn't feel like, even though like you're like trying to tell people this information, like it doesn't feel like you're necessarily preaching, because it feels like you're. It feels ambivalent, like you said, the dark and the light.
Yeah,
yeah. It doesn't
because to me, there can't be a light without dark. There can't be a dark without light.
Right.
You're not going to succeed. You know what I mean? Just being the good guy. You're not going to, but you're also not going to succeed just being the bad guy either. It's a balance of it. You can, of course, either way. You know, but depending on your circumstance, you know. I said in one song, Pop started from the bottom, had me somewhere around the middle, knew that I would be the man, told me so when I was little. You feel me? So I didn't come from all the way up here, so there's no way that I could get up there just by being one way. You know what I mean? I started around here, so I got to do what I got to do to get where I want to get.
Right. It's there are like a list of artists who, there are some artists who do it for one reason and then some who do it for another. For you, at the end of the day, why do you love music so much, and you know, why do you do it? What makes you get up and do it?
Music itself, it's just a feeling. You know what I mean? It's like one thing about music, when it hits, you feel no pain. You know what I mean? Like real rap, that's real. When you're in that zone, when I'm vibing out for real, like nothing else matters. So it's like, and it gives you that good feeling. It's a great stress reliever, for real. It allows me to, in an artistic way, project what I see, you know what I mean, and what I have inside of me, and put it out there for interpretation for everybody to go ahead and take from it what they want, and you know, receive it how they receive. Hopefully it helps a lot of people. Hopefully, you know, a lot of people learn from it and grow from it, or just even connect with it. You know what I mean?
I like how you said interpretation. That's I think one of the most interesting parts about music is just how, depending on the lyrics, how you can perceive it. It almost makes the viewer an artist in a way, like they are the final touch to the. Most definitely,
because that's what you do it for. You do it for. I think any rapper would be lying if they didn't say they didn't do their music for people, because that's what it is for. It's for, but it's also, it's like.
It's crazy how you can have something like, you know, you could be, you know, stressed or sad, depressed, and your levels of like sadness will be up here, but making art to help shoulder the burdens of existence can bring you down here, and then you have other people who resonate it, and they go down here, and they give you money so that you can keep
you see it all the time online. You see it all the time online with like influential artists. You see people telling them like, "You saved my life. You've changed my life." It's like, that
must be crazy.
That's what it's got to be crazy. And I couldn't imagine yet, but I would like to imagine that. You know, I would like for that to be something that
would be the next way, the feeling, right? Not just the booth you said, but like
that would be a whole nother feeling for real. To have somebody say that your music helped them out of something, it's like, you know, because making music has helped me out of stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like,
what was the realest song that, at least right now, you've ever heard, and what's the realest song that you've ever made?
The realest song that I've ever heard.
How old are you by chance?
27.
27.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of like songs on your like belt.
I'm trying to think. The realest thing that I've ever heard. I gotta go with Damian Marley and Nas. You know what I'm talking about? It was written.
Yes. Oh, dude. Yeah. In fact, I don't know if you know a person named Earl Sweatshirt.
Yeah.
But he actually released a project, and he actually says, "I heard you got your sauce at the Enterprise. Evidently, it was written." Evidently it was written, but it's mine. Evidently it was written like Nas, and then I had to search that up, and
that song right there is real. That joint's real.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't think that I've released my realest song yet. You know what I mean? I think I might have it for this time period, and I'm sure I have more to come. But right now, if you had to ask me of what I got out right now, I would say memories. Memories, yeah, because that's one that I haven't put out 3/5, so it's not 3/5. So I would go with memories right now, definitely, because like, are you saying as far as realist to me or realist to what I believe life is?
Let's go both ways, actually, because I think there's two dynamic. Because you said there was a song that you haven't released. You said 3/5. That, yeah, I would say let's try both.
Okay, yeah. So I would say memories, and I could even say off of Teejy the Prophet, my first project, I would say Christ Conscious. Christ Conscious freestyle.
Yeah, I heard.
So I'd rather burn the town down. That one, you know what I mean? I think that would be the realest one.
Are you a fan of Joey Badass?
Joey Badass, yeah, definitely. I haven't heard, like, I don't listen to a lot of music, honestly, but so I haven't heard a lot of music. I probably only heard most of his mainstream stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could probably honestly tell you, like, I think I probably heard like 4 songs of his, but everything I've heard from him is fire. Yeah, fire. I like his freestyles a lot. When I see him freestyle and whatnot, definitely a huge fan of him.
Yeah, he's really...
I definitely think he's underrated.
Yeah, he's really good. Dude, I swear I could see you on that, you know that one show, Underrated, Overrated?
No.
There's like, it's like a content video channel on YouTube where like they'll take artists like Thundercat or just a whole range of artists, and they'll ask them if like things are overrated or underrated.
Yeah.
Like singing, underrated or overrated.
You say that's what they'll ask him?
Yeah, like for example, like just a topic like that. What do you think? Do you think like singing, like for you, how do you feel about singing and?
I wish I could sing better. I like it a lot. It stretches words out, so you get to put less words on the song.
Yeah.
You feel me? I really like it. You know what I mean? I honestly do. But it's crazy because, like, I've never been, like, a huge fan of, like, dudes singing, like, listening to dudes singing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, then I find myself singing. You know what I mean? But, like, I like it more so for the fact of the mood that you can set with it. You know what I mean? Like the type of feel you can get off of a singing song rather than a rap song. Yeah,
you can encode like different, just weird aspects of the human experience. Like
heavy.
Yeah, like heavy. Anger, just weird.
Straight up, like I'm excited. I'm so excited for this new project. There's so much good music on it. I'm excited for people to hear the song like Rod. And when you say anger in there, you'll hear like me singing, but you'll hear me also screaming at the top of my lungs.
Yeah.
You know, but that's to come.
Why do you think that the realest stuff is also like? I was reading something, and I was talking to an associate of mine about flavors of emotions. So someone like let's say like Tyler the Creator, right? His type of sadness, it sounds aesthetically different, but also it has like a different flavor of sadness than maybe a Kid Cudi album.
Yeah.
And when you bring up like anger, well, I brought it up actually, but there's different like flavors of like emotions and how you can represent them.
I would say Tyler the Creator, his sad is like an angry sad, and Kid Cudi's is more like a I want to kill myself sad, like you know what I mean. He's like depression. All the way real with it, like yeah, definitely.
So when it comes to layering, I guess like flavor, creating like your flavor of like an emotion or expressing it, how do you go about that?
As far as like a mood for a song, I honestly let the beat do that. You know what I mean? It's almost like beats have a lot of emotion in them. So like you could jump on YouTube and type in sad hip hop instrumental, and you're gonna get a bunch of deep piano tones and chords and strings and stuff like that. Or then you could put uplifting hip hop instrumental or celebration hip hop instrumental, and you'll get that upbeat. You know what I mean? So I almost just follow suit with the beat for real, how it makes me feel. Like I'm trying to think of a song where if I did anything real, I don't think I put out many songs that are like have a sad undertone to them, but like angry definitely. Rebellious, I like to say, is my most, probably the most flavor that I put out, like a rebellious tone. I did an interview with Wendy Sky on the Wendy Sky show, and she told me, like, she said your music has it's like hardcore, conscious hip hop.
Yeah.
And like, I really liked that when she said that. You feel me? Because that's what I go for. You feel me? I want it to be sonically good. I want somebody to be able to be in the room over and hear it playing, can't really hear the lyrics, but hears it playing and says, oh, that sounds good. And I want the person to be in the room that's hearing the lyrics say, damn, he's saying some shit. And I also want the person in the room that's not listening at all, but their head's just fucking knocking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just can't get off the frequency.
Do you think that's a serious challenge, making music that is quote-unquote conscious, but also appealing to the senses? Do you think the convergence of those things are hard to do?
Absolutely. Absolutely, because we're individuals, so everybody has their own perception of life. So it's like, if I'm to say I'm making conscious music, then that's me saying that my conscious and what I believe is right.
Yeah.
You know, is correct. So the balance there in making music the way I make music is trying to make sure I say the things that are not too open-ended, but still leave enough room for the variations of people to connect with. You know, the person that thinks blue's the best color and the person that thinks red's the best color can jump on my beat and somehow see both of them in purple. You know what I mean? Something like that.
That's interesting. Do you have like when you like make music, do you like visualize it in a synesthetic way, like you can like see the beat or see the words?
It's like I tell people all the time, when I'm really like in my zone and a beat really hits me, it's not so much of seeing words, but I have been to that point like where like I really am seeing words and I'm saying them, but it's more so I hear them.
Wow.
It's trippy. It's trippy. It's literally, to me, sometimes it sounds like, and if you listen to some of my music, you'll hear cadences or melodies in a song, and then my lyrics will go right along with that one.
Yeah.
You know, and that might not be the main thing for that song, so it'll switch up, of course, but you'll hear that, and it's like a hook, you know.
Yeah.
I'll hear something, and to me, it literally sounds like that's what the beat's saying. That's what's supposed to be said. You know what I'm saying?
To you.
Yeah, straight up.
That's crazy.
Straight up. That's literally how I be feeling.
That must be like quite the feeling in the studio, like.
Yeah, when the vibe is right, bro, the vibe is right. Like,
how do you get that vibe? Do you have like candles, or do you? What is your?
I just need the music loud, and I need to be around people that I'm comfortable with. For real, for real. I'm the type of cat. I'll be like, hey, your energy, I can't right now. You gotta get out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's got to be a certain way. You know what I mean? Like, I've ended relationships with studios because it's just like the people who own the studio wanted everybody and anybody to be in there because they were excited about the music that was being created and it's going on in their place, and they want to get in there, be in there, and they want to drink and turn up. And it's like, hey, I'm in here trying to vibe. Like, I'm literally trying to meditate in here. I can't have all these people around. You know?
Dude, just making that conscious music and saying, it's not
straight up. It's like, it's definitely a vibe. And I'm an energy person. I really truly am. Like, I'm an energy person. I can feel it. You know what I mean? So it's like, if the energy's off, you know, that can make or break a creative session. You know, you gotta have that energy.
That's crazy. How long does do you have? There are people that I've talked to who say they have sparks of creative outbursts, like when they're driving or when they're just doing whatever. What about you?
Definitely. I mean, that was something I used to do a lot, is like find beats and maybe come up with hooks while I'm driving. Really? You know what I mean? It's just something about being in the car. You're in there. It's silent. It's enclosed in, so all the sound is trapped in there. You know what I mean? You can go ahead and get it. You know, how many times have you pulled up to a light and the person next to you is jamming? You don't know if there's music playing or not. They might be making their own song. But yeah, definitely in the car. Like, I get inspiration from nature, for real. Like, I like, you know, if I'm like feeling like in like a rut and I can't come up with stuff, I definitely would take my time and, you know, go outside. You know,
nature.
What was the question again?
Oh, like bursts of creative like ideas and stuff.
It really, honestly, it just comes from the beats to me, man. It comes to the beats, like real shit. It comes to the beats.
There's a lot of it's really interesting how beats have come along in the past, 30 years of hip hop. the idea, like sampling, for example, has taken a whole. That's like an entire art form, right?
Yeah, yeah, most definitely.
What are your thoughts around, you know, the purpose of sampling and stuff? Like, do you think people, you know, do you like your beats made completely from scratch, or do you like to sample, or have
I like
your producer do what?
My boy Kevin, Super Scott. He made a lot of the beats that were on, and he also was on a couple of the tracks that were on Teejy the Prophet, the first one, and he used a lot of samples.
Yeah.
When it's done right, yeah, sampling is it. You know what I mean? Because you can really get a mood off of a sample. You know, and you can lead up to a great beat off of a sample. You know, but overdone, I don't like it too much. I don't like too much when they say things. You know what I mean? I don't mind it being a voice, but I'd rather it be a voice maybe like harmonizing or just, you know, chopped to where it's not saying something. It might kind of maybe even sound like something a little bit. But then again, like I said, then I can hear that and feel like, oh, it's saying this. This is what it's calling for.
Yeah,
rather than it being an actual sample of somebody saying lyrics. And then it's like, okay, I have to go off of this, and I can't do anything over that because they're already saying something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, back when I first started rapping, I used to not like samples as much. But then, you know, you get used to it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You're kind of a veteran compared to a lot of the new school rappers who, you know, come out, like, they say they just started rapping, like, 6 months ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And so, you know, how do you maneuver yourself with, because now you have, you know, the projects that you haven't released, and you have a lot of projects already out in this, you know, a fairly short amount of time. Some people like to take 2 years off and like think about or grow as a person. For you, I think I'm giving you a lot of like things to meditate on, but like how do you feel about the trends right now and just surviving as an artist?
I mean, I feel like music right now is hip hop or rap music is just like in a weird time point right now. I think like, if I speak openly, like I feel like we're being dumbed down right now.
Yeah.
Which is like, in a way it's cool. In the way of like profit, like money, it's cool because now you can make a hit off of something dumb. For real.
Yeah.
And as long as sonically it sounds good, you can say damn near anything. And if you got the right beat and you get the right marketing plan and you get the right push, you can blow up off that one song, like you say. But at the same time, I think that does put a damper and kind of challenges people that are actually coming with lyrics. You know what I mean? Your J. Cole's and stuff like that. Like it definitely, to me, it's a weird point to try to come into the game and really like say some stuff and really like make a change, you know what I mean, for real, to with the direction that we're going.
And speaking of marketability, what is your thoughts on meme rap or just music that is just more marketable for, you know, memeable content?
What do you mean by that though? Just like,
so like maybe a rap music video that might actually sound good, but it's just created in a way. Yeah, like for example, Lil Dicky's "Freaky Friday" was an example. People say it's kind of like memeable. It's you know, it's a good song, but like, you know what I'm talking about? But
it's like a joke almost.
Yeah, it's like humor.
Yeah. I mean, again, dude, like, people are making money off of this stuff, so like I can't knock it. You know what I mean? Like anything that's going to allow somebody to get a step closer to what they believe they want to achieve. You know what I mean? Like, so I can't knock it, but. And Lil Dicky is awesome. Like he snaps. Chris Brown is awesome. You know what I mean? They go in, but some of these rappers out here, these meme musics, like we could go to and look. Again, I'm not knocking nobody's hustle, but like Daddy Long Neck and Wide Neck.
Yeah.
You seen their song?
Yeah.
That's obviously memeable. You know what I mean? Like, it's.
Do you think you need to be able to do that? Do you think you need to be able to do that now to garner an audience?
It depends how fast you want it. You know what I mean? To me, it depends how fast you want it. If you're willing to sell your soul and go ahead and do that stuff and be the laughing stock for the sheep, then go ahead and do it. You can be famous tomorrow. You know what I mean? But if you got morals and you really want to say something and you want to be taken serious, and then nah, I don't think you need to do that.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I mean? I don't think so.
Where do you want to go? Do you want to be independent? Do you want to sign to a label? Where would you like your brand to move?
I would love it to be independent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would love it to be independent. That takes a team. You know what I mean? That takes a solid team. But I would definitely love it to be independent because, to my knowledge, that's where it's at.
Yeah.
You know? For real, to my knowledge, that's where it's at. Independent. You got to be your own boss. You got to have your team, and you guys got to be structured. You got to plan stuff out, and you got to put in the grind, you know?
Yeah.
But, of course, then again, that signing comes with that check. Yeah. But a lot of that stuff is recoupable on the back end. So it's like, if you are going to sign, you got to make sure the terms are what you want, and you got to make sure you read that and understand thoroughly.
Them 360 deals
and a lot
are killing
of times,
rappers, man.
Yeah, and a lot of times when that comes, it's like, here, you sign this right now, we'll give you that $5 million up front, but you got to sign it right now. You can't, you know what I mean? You don't have time to go get it checked out. So it's like, and a lot of times cats are going ahead and doing it because they're like, I can't miss my break right here.
And get a nice chain too.
And I can't miss my break right here, you know? Like, this is my opportunity. When if they just go ahead and put in that extra work, then you could be that dude passing the paper on. You know what I mean?
Or just getting a bigger check if you have more of an audience, I guess.
Straight up.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
As far as that goes, I definitely want to hit on this dude, like LSS. Just be prepared for that. That's the brand that we're in the process of legalizing right now, LSS.
Tell us about that. Or if it's confidential, you don't.
It's a little bit confidential, so I'm not going to tell. I'm not going to tell you the full name. So just we'll leave it at LSS right now. But it's a brand that's coming, and it's a culture. You feel me? It's a culture, and it's for a new age way of thinking. You know, where everybody, race, color, creed, you know, whatever your difference, you can reign supreme. You know what I mean? And so, is it a more charismatic, loud type of brand, or is it more of a secret society type of thing? Secret society. Secret society. It's like, nah, it's going to be for everybody. You feel me? Right now it's secretive just because we're in the legal part, but it's going to be for everybody, for real. Like, it's for the people, no doubt. It's for bringing people together. It's for waking up and waking up and spreading that, you know, shedding light on life and letting your true light shine out and showing people who you are, what you believe, you know, and what we're here to do. For real, for real. There's a message that's supposed to be spread, that's been supposed to be spread, and we got to go ahead and carry that on. Yeah, I got you. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're all children alike, so we got to be ready to go ahead and shine when your time comes. You feel me? Yeah. You're doing it right now with this platform right here. Yeah. You feel me? I'm here right now. That way I can let my light shine here and then hopefully go beyond. And you feel me? Straight like that. It's going to be a culture, bro. Yeah. For real. So, yeah, man, you're from Delaware then? Born and raised. Born and raised. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Man. It's quite the simple place. Oh yeah, very simple. It's crazy because it's so small, right? It's so small, so of course it has a limited network. But you would think that because of how small it is, it would be very, very easy to promote and to get your stuff out there. But it's not. For real, for real. I don't know what's stopping us. We don't have a lot of we have a lot of tech companies coming here and like saying this is where they are, even though they're like in California. Yeah. But when it comes to like a lot of in-house tech, I don't see too much. It's like Delaware. It's like, to me, Delaware, it's like a lot of people are trying to do a lot of the same stuff, and so it's like it seems like the support doesn't get as. I don't know how to explain it. You know what I mean? It just seems like everybody's trying to do the same thing. So I'm taking care of mine and I'm focusing on mine. And I see you're doing yours and it's cool. But like I'm gonna watch your video, but I'm not gonna like it because you know what I mean. I feel like we get a lot of that stuff going on out here. Yeah, no joke. Do you
Do you think it's important to have a place to rep? Especially now in 19, almost 19.
Now in 2019, nah.
You don't think
No,
so?
I think that's the old school style.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely never want to forget where you came from, but we
Yeah.
live in an era of now of social media where once you do have the means to travel and whatnot, you can be here and you can be there and you can be here.
You're more from
and
the internet than from anywhere
straight up.
else,
And then
yeah.
at the end of the day, like, we're Americans, so it's like, that whole, oh, I'm from here, I'm from Delaware, I'm from Philly, I'm from Cali, it's like we're all Americans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like nobody's out here warring. It's like we all literally are flying the same flag. You know what I mean?
I'm
So,
more about repping ideologies anyway.
straight up, I'm with that. I'm
ideas.
definitely with that. And like, back to the LSS, that's what LSS is. It's
Right.
an ideology. I can't even say that, ideology.
Yeah,
Like,
ideology, yeah.
So, like, that's literally what that is about.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a philosophy and a way of living and just a way of thinking that is way more open-minded.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited about that. Excited to bring that to you guys.
I know that your music reflects a lot of conscious work and a lot of contemplation on life and stuff like that. How did you get to that point? Because a lot of music is like an extension of someone's being.
Yeah.
And not everybody has that in music, so it reflects on who they, because you are what you eat. Your
Everybody.
music is, so how did you get that way?
Everybody has a path that they gotta walk, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a lot of your thought process stems from how early in life you learned that there was a path that you had to walk. You know what I mean? And I feel like I had to learn that I had a path to walk very, very young. Again, like I was Jehovah's Witness growing up, so very strict household, very religious, and it was
No birthdays, right?
no birthdays, no holidays, so there was a lot of things that were taught to us in America that were taught to me differently and allowed me to see, oh, okay, wait, so that doesn't really matter as much as they're telling us it matters. So what does matter? You know what I mean? And other things in life, whatever it may be, people go through things, dramatic experiences or whatever it may be, you know what I mean? Like, I grew up fast, you know what I mean? I definitely grew up fast. Things happen, and I had to look at life from this angle, and this angle, rather than just a kid's angle where it's just like face forward what's right in front of me at the time. I had to think heavy, you know what I mean? And I've just always been a thinker since then. If you talk to my dad, he'll tell you my brain works fast.
Thinking really hard puts a lot of stress and weight on you. What holds you down? Who keeps you level-headed?
Mary Jane, you know what I mean? Definitely,
Yeah.
I won't lie on that one.
Yeah.
I definitely smoke to ease myself. Let's say my loved ones, of course. My dogs, heavy.
Yeah.
They definitely keep me grounded. Bullpit Kennels, that's the name of my kennel that I own.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We specialize in pit bulls, XXL pit bulls, ABKC registered, UKC registered, and protection dogs. I do a lot of training. That's something that I actually do like on the side as a job, is dog training.
Wow.
And train dogs to attack and.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like those Olympics where like the dogs go up the stairs and.
Oh no! I mean, I could definitely train a dog to do that stuff, but not too much agility. More like protective training, like your guard dogs to guard your house. Complete obedience, you know what I mean? Just stuff like that, for real. I mean, my dogs are definitely agile because of the way that they get trained. I use a flirt pole, so they're constantly running quick and whatnot, but it's all more so about reactions and obedience. So I want my dog to be on 100 chasing after something and me to be able to say, out, and it just stops. Or I say, heel, and he just runs back to me. Stuff like that, yeah. So if everybody go ahead and check that out on Instagram, Bullpit Kennels, BULLPITKENNELS. Definitely go ahead and show love to Bullpit Kennels. BPK all day.
I'll ask you. So I'll do a either or. It's a challenge we do where we give out two things, two artists, two places or what have you, and you just gotta pick between either of them.
Okay.
So, Jay-Z or Nas?
Ooh.
Start hard this time. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say
Jay-Z has had a really great. Well,
Jay-Z's had one of the
career.
greatest careers.
Yeah.
But Nas also had a great career.
Yeah. There was that Zimmerman thing.
There's a
this
thing
year.
about longevity.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go with Jay-Z because he's still at it, like at a high level. You know, that verse he just dropped on Meek's.
Yeah, that's
project.
been playing daily rotation.
That's crazy. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go ahead and go with Jay-Z. I think he heard my track 3/5 for real. I think he
For
heard
real?
it. Yeah, I think he heard it somehow.
Dude, it's crazy being like that successful and an artist. You know.
He's up there with the politicians, man. He's doing it.
Yeah.
Like no joke. He's on a mission.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Andre 3000 or Big Boy?
Come on, bro.
No, I mean,
You gotta go with the three
No.
stacks, bro.
No.
You gotta go with the three
I will
stacks.
find someone who loves Big Boy. Like
I love Big Boy because Big Boy loves the pit bulls.
He did.
Yeah, he's got a nice kennel. You know, I like that. You know what I mean? But you gotta go with three stacks, man.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
I feel you. When will he drop an album?
I don't know. I don't know. He doesn't need to.
Yeah, he doesn't need to. I
He
know.
doesn't.
I'm
He just needs to feature on stuff. He eats
You're right.
everybody.
Actually, do you think that's an interesting way to like build a career? Is by being like very reclusive, like
Hell yeah.
like on who's his name? Jay Electronica, for example. He's more
Definitely.
known for his subtle. Yeah.
I think like 2 Chainz was the king of featuring. You know, I think most.
Lil Wayne was too. You know.
Yeah, I think most definitely. Featuring is honestly like the way to go. If you can get on somebody's track, get on their track. That's a whole nother fan base seeing you.
Yeah.
Then if even a quarter of them like you and go back and check out your stuff,
Yeah.
your fan base grew. So it's like feature. You know what I mean? Cardi did it,
That's true. Yeah.
you know?
And she did it like with international artists too.
Boom, straight up.
I hear that's
Feature.
a new wave actually.
Yeah, get your face out there. Get your face out there. If I had means to do a song with somebody in China, I
Yeah.
would do it today.
You know, the only thing I would be worried about is when you're overseas, like an overseas artist, and you make a really good hit song. All you would need to do is get someone who's more famous, like from here, like maybe like Beyonce, J. Cole, or whatever,
Yeah.
and they can make a remix, and the labels would be, because they already know there's a guarantee crowd for this already. They could just, I guess, leech. That's what's worrying me about the whole mixing of different like cultures and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, just getting people the recognition they deserve. Yeah.
Well, yeah, music is always gonna get stolen, so
Yeah.
that comes down to copyright and then making sure that you dot your I's and cross your dot your I's and cross your T's, because it's
Yeah.
like that's a major thing, you know.
What's your favorite type of feature? Because there's features where like 2 artists will get on a track and they'll do their thing, and like it's literally just these 2 people who happen to be on the same track. And then there are projects where they'll collaborate and they'll make something that neither of them could have made by themselves, but together they made this like really interesting track.
Yeah.
And then there's like the features where 2 artists will come together and they'll make something that both of them could have made by themselves, but it's not necessarily like it's not like an email verse. I guess.
Yeah.
What's your favorite type?
I definitely think I like it when it's like organic, when the artists get up together and go ahead and cook something up like that right there from scratch, rather than, oh, I made this song, let me send it to you and you just go ahead and put a verse on, and then my verse might be about this and yours is just about this.
Yeah.
I like when, like I said earlier, that Damian Marley and Nas.
Yeah.
It's like that stuff had a, you know
It
what I
all
mean?
came together in that one.
It was all about one thing, you know? I like that. I dig that.
I feel like that's really hard.
Yeah,
compared to,
but
like, other
that
stuff.
takes skill, you know what I mean? It takes real music from the heart, number one, for real, and like to actually, to get up, because anybody
Especially
can
if
just,
it's conscious type stuff you're trying to say, then you like trusting the other person. Like,
to do justice, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because that's really what it is on a feature. You got to go ahead and do justice, you know? And if not, then as an artist, you got to be able to have the balls to just say, you know what, man, like that ain't it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You can't, it either has to match or it be better. That's how I feel about it, you know? Like,
when it comes to that type of, you know, stance on lyrics and artistry, how do you feel about ghostwriting? Or writing in general? Would you like write for another artist?
I definitely would, yeah. I definitely would. I would prefer to just be in the studio session, like, you know what I mean? I would prefer to just be in there and kind of like executive, create, like, just be there to say, hey, say this like this, or say this right here, or just giving ideas. You know, I did that a lot, honestly, with most of the people that I've ever worked with. You know what I mean? Anytime I'm in the studio, I'm always down to help somebody make their song sound what I believe could be, you know, a little bit better, you know, and I truly believe I have like a good ear for music, you know what I mean, and especially for putting words down over a beat. And so, like, yeah, I definitely wouldn't have a problem doing that. And even sitting down writing, not that I don't really like it too much, but if somebody say, hey, I really like for you to write me something, like, I definitely would go ahead and do it. But I'd still do it with my style. I'd play the beat and make the song up, and then. Oh,
so you wouldn't have them in mind for it. You would just make your verse and then give it to them.
I mean, if that's what they asked, you know what I mean. But if they wanted me to just sit there with them while they made theirs, and I just help them make it, you know, tweak it or take this out, put this there, you know what I mean. Definitely.
It's always an interesting topic because everybody has a different opinion on it.
Yeah.
Especially over, you know, like I said, the last 4 or 5 years, it's really become a, you know, there's no definitive answer, I guess, anymore.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, of course.
Yo.
Yo, what up?
Hey, say what's up. I'm doing an interview right quick. Say what's up in the mic.
Yo, what up, bro? How you at?
I'm doing this interview real quick. Let me call you when I get out of here. This is my boy Jeezy. I was just telling you about Jeezy Tattoo. Shout out the tat shop, bro.
Hey, it's on gang. Gave you a laugh. Coming in movie at Kirkland Highway, January 2019.
Yeah, the Lab. That's the new spot. It was called Relentless. Now it's going to be called the Lab. Yeah. Some of the hottest tattoo artists out in Delaware, bro. Like, literally, yeah. Mark Johnson, Jeezy Tattoos, Dan Price. What's the other boy's name? Josh Johnson. Like, literally some of the most talented young artists in the game. All right, bro. I'm gonna call you when I get out.
Bro.
Tattoos and Mary Jane. They're like pretty ingrained in like hip hop culture.
Look. This is some of Jeezy's work right here.
Oh damn!
And
actually.
like. This is his early work, you feel me? This is his real early work. Like I said, it's my best friend. I got his first tat ever right here. But like, yeah, tattoos and Mary Jane. Look what she's sitting there smoking right there. You know what I mean? The leaves right there blowing, smoke coming all up through the skull. This is all his work. He's nasty with it, man.
That's fire. Yeah. Actually, I actually wanted to question you about that. You're really into Egyptian, like
most
the
definitely.
aesthetic. Yeah,
most definitely.
What's the obviously Prophet, but is there, you know, anything more to your love of that type of thing?
I got a love for like studying history. You know what I mean? Even though again that is his story, so it's like we're only told what.
Oh damn! You said his story. I was like,
you know what I'm saying? That's his story. So like the victor lives on to tell the story. So that's no. We know that now. Like so, it's like you got to go ahead and you got to continue to search and reference and really dig to go ahead and believe what you want to believe if you're going to search for stuff in the past. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like I said in Condolence, mind's as strong as Superman, the mind's as stupid man cannot control us. Mind's exploding to the land to find the truth of land of man that mind's exploding to the land to find the truth of man that died before us. You feel me? Like that's the type time I'm on. You feel me? Like I truly believe that we are from this earth and whatnot, and like if you meditate, you know what I mean? Like you can literally go into the past because our cells is all matter and energy can't be destroyed. So this has been here before. You know what I mean? Before we opened before we were born. Yeah. These cells and these organisms, they've been here before. This what we're made out of, this energy, you know what I mean? So I truly believe like you can dig inside yourself, you know, and really like go back and find some truth and stuff like that. And I believe that type of knowledge came out of here. You know what I mean?
Some people think that consciousness isn't even you know, it's more like a frequency, like a wave, and it just happens to like.
I believe that
our bodies is more like a vessel for it. There's some
most definitely
scientists that, yeah, I think that
I believe that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like Egyptians, you know, their hieroglyphs and stuff like that. It's everything's like animals and nature and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah.
then that's what they use to talk. You know, so I really feel like, and I could be wrong, you know, but I feel like they studied the land and they studied
Yeah.
animals and nature, and that's what truly like led them to understanding more about themselves. You know?
there's a question actually. This is actually a really interesting conversation about you know, constant stuff. I've always had this question about. I've asked different people about it because I'm always interested in seeing like what their thoughts on it. Have you ever heard of something called the theist?
Theist.
You already know what that means.
Theist.
I think yeah, theist.
Is that I don't know. I don't know that now.
It's a boat in the story of the Odyssey.
Okay.
Is
that the name of the boat?
Yeah, the theist.
So it has something to do with pertaining to the gods, right? It's Theo.
Yeah.
Is the gods.
It's kind of like a paradox.
Okay.
It's like it's a question that has to do with the state of objects and what makes an object indivisible from another one. So the idea was that there's a boat that was supposed to go around the world in a year.
Okay.
And on this journey, you know, they hired the best captains, the best crewmates, you know, everything. And on this journey, there was like degradations to the ship because of like erosion from the water. And,
Yeah.
there was like pirate invasions.
Okay.
So there was damages, but when they went from dock to dock, they, you know, got supplies and they fixed the ship. So much so that a year later, every piece of the ship was destroyed, but was replaced over the span of a year.
Okay.
So people say, well, you know, is it still the theist if every piece of it that left, you know, isn't the theist anymore? And some people say that no, it's the people on the ship who make
it. Yeah.
And then, you know, I think there was a person named, I forget the person who, I think it was someone named Socrates who wanted to like retort, and he said, well, let's say, you know, people got scurvy as well.
Yeah.
People walked the plank. There was even mutiny at one point, so the captain was killed and was
Oh, wow.
replaced. So let's say hypothetically that, you know, everybody who left also died and was replaced.
Okay.
You know, what makes a theist a theist? And they use this as like a thought experiment to like juxtapose with like humans or just other creatures, because like every 7 years, right, our cells get replaced.
Yeah.
You know, TJ, your ability to like walk, talk, or speak English, for example, doesn't make TJ.
Right.
So, you know, where does, you know, what is that thing that is, you know, that transcends your physical or makes you?
Right. I mean, I would say like, you know,
some people say memories, but you know, even those things are subject to change.
I would think like the theist, that being the name is just like everything else that's given a name. You know, if we decide to call this water bottle a water chest, and we all in this room agree, and we're the only ones, let's say we're the only ones living, and we all agree that this is a water chest now and not a water bottle, and it still serves the same purpose, it still does the same thing. You know, we just all agreed that that's what it's called. So it's like, it's just a name. And back to the Egyptians, you know, in the early dynasties, nothing was believed to have had existence until it was taken to the pharaoh and given a name. So
a name like a label.
Label.
Okay.
And so like, I said in one song off of Teejy the Prophet 2, I said, if the earth was named Mars, we would all be called the Martians.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I just think words, again, are just fragments of our mind. It's just a figment of our imagination. So it's like...
Do you think there's an all-encompassing definition to words? So, for example, if I were to use the word apple, do you think there's a definition that fully... This is like... There's a person named Ludwig Wittgenstein. When you're talking about like philosophy, I don't know. Just
I dig it.
There's a philosopher named Ludwig Wittgenstein who came up with the idea that words might not have all-encompassing definitions. He said that, for example, the word apple could be used not only to describe the fruit, the red fruit, but also be a way of this, you know, expressing the first letter of the alphabet, right? Echo, alpha, you know, so you know, just curious on your thoughts.
I mean, it's just words are words. It's a construct of man's mind. You know what I mean? It's literally, they started with sounds and we created words. You know, it used to be symbols that we used to understand, you know, and I just think it's subject to change, honestly. Yeah. It's subject to change. But if the ship is still serving the same purpose and it's still doing the same thing and it gets around the world in a year, then it's the theist. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
interesting.
But I don't know. That's a tough one for real. Because again, that's one of those things that everybody has their own perception. So some people, like, obviously you're woke, so I can sit here and talk to you about words not being real and how we could literally change. If we said from now on 2 inches was 1 inch, and we changed every ruler and made 1 inch to what we knew now is 2 inches, and then our whole metric system changes. You know what I mean? Everything changes.
Those types of ideas, when they're put into music, they become so, I guess, avant-garde. At, you know, I was watching.
Let me pull my dictionary out. What the hell is avant-garde?
Avant-garde is like experiment. Just to say the least, it's like experimental music. Okay. Yeah. I was watching a documentary on the Beatles and how they, why they're so like legendary is because they're not only the most popular and pop-oriented band, but they're also one of the most experimental later on in their career, because I think Paul McCartney, he spent a lot of time with a lot of poets and just different thinkers around this. There was like a mini Enlightenment era for music during the 60s with like psychedelics and stuff. So apparently, you know, it's just
what we need again.
You think so?
Oh yeah, I definitely think so. That's what we need again. We definitely need that, some type of spiritual awakening.
Dude, you're crazy prolific. I don't even know how you're able to like recite some of those, like, because you have so many bars. Yeah, you got so many songs. I imagine like if you were to go on tour and stuff, you would have to like everybody wants you to play this. Everyone wants to play that. Yeah. How would you even manage that?
The good thing is, like, again, I'm like an energy person, and the beats give me energy. So it's like when I hear the beat, the words will pop out. You know what I mean? It's like, boom. My mind is like a damn filing cabinet. So it's like, I don't have to think about it. You know what I mean? I might, if I'm going to do a show, and let's say I'm doing these 3 songs, I might listen to them on the way to the show, and I'm ready. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool. Let's go. Yeah. Like, and that's why I think, that's why I like not writing it down, too, because I feel like, you know, once you wrote it down, you know, it's taken from here. You feel me? It's out of there. Now I need to go back and read it to get it down. But if I got it here and I hear that beat, it's like, damn, I remember that. Okay. Wow. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Go get it.
That's crazy.
I appreciate that too, though.
Yeah, for sure. What would you say? Why should people care about Teejy the Prophet?
Teejy the Prophet. Teejy. Cause I'm for the people, for real. I got a message that's for the people that I believe is like truly something that the people need to hear. You know what I mean? If you actually take the time to listen, if you actually take the time to go to the first tape, to the second, to the third, to the fourth, and then when the 5th and 6th and 7th and 8th and 9th, 10th come, and you actually follow the journey and grow with me as a, you know, as an artist, like, you can actually take something from it, and it's no joke. Like,
bro, I swear to God, that's I didn't.
No, you're good. Go ahead, bro.
I swear to God, I do that with artists that I'm like really serious about, you know, listening to. I won't listen to their new stuff. I'll listen to all their old stuff first, and then once I get to their new stuff, it feels like the coming of age. Like, I'm finally ready to listen to their new stuff. That was the same with like Vince Staples, and I don't listen to like Vince Staples 2-3 weeks. It's like 3 months of like old stuff. Now I'm ready.
Bam. Now I'm ready. Yeah. Like, no joke. I truly believe, like I said earlier, we're all children of light. Like, and I truly believe, like, I'm a child of light. I was sent here with the message and with knowledge ingrained inside my soul that comes out in my music. And I'm trying to figure out how to make it come out just when I talk and communicate, you know what I mean? But, like, it comes out in my music, and it's there, and it has stuff that it's just, it might not be the answer, but it is definitely a spark that is going to help somebody light that fire in them, that gives them that answer, gives us all the answer one day. You know what I mean? For real. I truly believe that. I was told by a lady that does like meditations and guided meditations and whatnot, and she's she's not Jamaican, but she's from the Caribbean and whatnot, and so she's very, very like in tune like that. And she told me, she stopped me one day. She used to work in the barbershop with me. She worked in the salon, and like I walked past her. I went to the bathroom. I walked past her, and then and I just felt her energy. I didn't look at her or anything. I just felt her energy, and I was like, yeah, she's gonna say something to me. And I walked past her again. She didn't say nothing, but I was still, my mind was still on her. And literally right before I get out the door, she's Teejy, and she was nervous. And I'm like, what's up? And she said, don't take this the wrong way, but my guy told me that you're a star child. You're a child of light. And I was like, your guide? You know? And she's like, my meditation guide. She said, my ancestors, when she meditates, she follows her ancestors and whatnot. And so she said, like, they came to me, and she said, and I don't know why. She said, I wasn't thinking about you or anything. She said, they just came to me and told me to tell you you're a child of light. You're a star child, and that you have a job here. Like, you have a message here. And it's something that I had already knew, I had already believed, and already seen in my own psychedelic when I was on shrooms. Tripping, you know what I mean? I saw the whole vision, like I saw it all. So I said, okay, damn. When she said that, chills went up my spine, but it just validated, you know what I mean? It just validated for me, like, yeah, I know it. So now it's about
have those experiences played?
Yeah. No, you good.
Have those experiences played a heavy role in? Well, obviously, yeah, it's bad. What can you tell us about how they've influenced your music? Those experiences, I guess.
I would say greatly, because, I mean, just like the ancient humans that were traveling, hunting herd animals, and happening to just along the way, we're cavemen and we're following migrating mammoths, and the only thing, they're miles ahead of us and we're following them, and the only thing that we can eat along the way is what we can find, harvest, and pick up off the ground. And mushrooms are growing out of their shit, and we eat the mushrooms, and bam, you're tripping. And that played a huge role in the development of the human mind. So I still believe to this day microdosaging of mushrooms can play a great role in the development of your mind, and also their entheogens. You know, entheogen, ENTHEOGEN, that's that theo word again. So that means to create the divine within. Genere in Latin, in Latin is to create. Theo is the divine or God, and en in Latin is in. So flip it around, it's to create the divine within. So that's what they do. That's what entheogens and psychedelics and stuff do in us. They actually help us to reach that Christ conscious, to actually get to that point of that frequency, or you would say, you know what I mean? And like, of course, they're not the most stable. That's why I say microdosage, because, you know, if you do it a lot, it'll take you through a freaking whirlwind, and you might feel like you're losing your mind, but a lot of times you come out of it with a strange sense of clarity. You know what I mean? And that happened for me for sure. And a lot of like the knowledge that I put in my music is stuff that I got from those times, those experiences. You know, for real. Teejy the Prophet itself, like, one time I was tripping, and I literally once I finally came through, and it was like my most serious trip ever, where I saw everything, you know, but I also, at one point, I was scared to death, you know what I mean? And like, I literally saw everything. I had gold sheets at the time. I was laying down trying to collect myself, and they started rippling, and turned, the gold sheets turned into sand, and turned into the pyramids of Giza and the Sphinx and stuff right in my room, and I'm like, bugging, you know? But when I came to, I had a gold trim mirror on the floor in my room, and I was sitting at the edge of my bed thinking, and I was like fighting with the idea of remaining myself, you know, TJ, Tony Bell, remaining myself, but also transforming into this Teejy the Prophet. So as I came to, I look up, and bam, there's me sitting in the gold mirror, and I instantly go to the cover of Gold Roads, which I had already put out, you know, like a year before, and or 2 years before. And you know, that's the Moorish guy inside the temple with the two white girls laying down and whatnot. And I see myself in this gold mirror, and it hits me, and it's just like, I'm Teejy the Prophet. I'm here. I got a message. You know what I mean? I gotta deliver it. You know what I mean? Straight like that. And that's it. That's what I gotta do.
when did you know, TJ? Obviously, that psychedelic experience told you, but when did you know from your music, like this, like from this song, I got it. Like I'm this good, I can do it.
I would have to say it happened before. It happened before I released the project. Honestly, like I said, I did like mostly just all freestyling and whatnot, and it was just I would get on songs with cats that sat there and I watched them write take an hour to write their verse, and then I would freestyle. And then by the end of the song, we'd all be like, "Damn, your verse is the hottest. TJ, your shit is the hottest." Like, okay, cool, all right, bet. Like, but then like once I would say sonically though, getting the sound down was recording Teejy the Prophet, you know, and the actual first song on there, Talk to Y'all.
Yeah.
And then, like, I think when I did that song and I just felt it, you know, can I please talk to y'all for a while? Man, my words make the whole world smile. That joint, you know what I mean? Like, that really told me, like, you know what? Yeah, I can put this in the music. I can say what I want to say. So much easier than sitting here and trying to actually articulate it. And also, then again, if you put it in music, more people will listen to you anyway. You know what I mean? That's when I knew.
Wow.
That's definitely when I knew.
That's incredible. And anyway, it's been TJ, TJ the Prophet. It's been an honor talking to you, man. It's
no doubt.
Yeah, man.
My pleasure, bro. Real shit.
Yeah,
I'll come back anytime.
Yeah, I mean, if whenever you gonna release a little project, we can definitely do a follow up to see how you progress.
No doubt.
Yeah, I really loved it. Yeah, it's been ArtistIN, man. It's subscribe to the thingy below, whatever that is. You know, we do bar mitzvahs. You know,
everybody go ahead and make sure you follow me at _ THEPROFIT_. That's on Instagram, and you can find all my music that's out SoundCloud under Teejy the Prophet. That's TEEJY THEPROFIT. No spaces in that. And I'm on iTunes, Spotify, Spinrilla, all the platforms. Just Google me.
And you can message me at Chocolate Rain. I didn't get to tell you. All right, man.
Message him at
Chocolate Rain at AOL.com.
Chocolate Rain.
Check Chocolate Rain. Yeah. All right, I'm done.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, I cannot control this. Hocus pocus, magic potion got me focused. Overdose on dose of dopeness. Flow is cold as Nova Scotia. Know you're rolling, no we rolling, roll you over. Life is just a game of golden roads and loads of golden roller coasters. Round and round we go while fighting forces, while the forces all control the souls. Fighting for the fortune while the fortune.